Welcome everybody to this Equinox in March of 2024. I'm really glad to have you join us here. And well, the equinox time is, the balance of everything, equal day, equal night. We have big snow right now, so it actually looks like it's going to be more dark than light, but it is what it is. And I thank you for being here, but also for those that have sent in contributions. Thank you for those. They will go to the person I said that was in need. And yeah, so we have a number of things scheduled for today. We will start with a little bit of a musing on meditation and a very short meditation by Susan Cooper, and then we'll have a musical contribution from Elaine with her teacher who is accompanying her. Then I will do a longer meditation, and then I'm not sure, we may or may not have another musical contribution. We shall see how that looks. And then we'll have a raffle, and at the end I will share about the upcoming programs. So I think we shall start with Susan, even though maybe it's a little bit beforehand, before our schedule, but I think that's fine. Susan, if you're ready, why don't you go ahead and share with us what you would like to share with us?
Okay. Well, I'm going to start with a little poem by Lala, or Lal Ded, verse 129 of her poems. And then I'll do a little excerpt from the Self-Realization in Kashmir Shaivism, Talks on Practice. So this poem by Lal Ded is a poem regarding the power of meditation practice. And she was a renowned Kashmiri female mystic, and dating back to the 14th century. So even then, meditation was powerful. Here we go. It's so much easier to study than act, to philosophize than go looking for the self. Losing the scriptures in the thick fog of my practice, I stumbled on second sight. Now from the reading on Self-Realization, Talks on Practice. Now I shall explain to you how to enter this realm of meditation. And this is not the guided meditation we'll have later. It's a different form of meditation with an entirely different purpose, but I'll start again. Now I shall explain to you how to enter this realm of meditation, both the physical and external, the physical being the external and the internal postures. When you have decided to meditate, simply take your seated pose and lengthen your spine, becoming aware of the breath. As you become more proficient, sit without your body moving, absolutely motionless like a rock. You should not twitch your eyelids, move your lips, or scratch your ears. Be like a frozen body, absolutely motionless. As you begin your meditation, it matters little if thoughts continue to stream through your mind. After an hour, you will feel that your mind has 45 minutes to an hour. After 45 minutes to an hour, you will feel that your mind has begun settling into a subtle state of thought and mood. Gradually, you will experience that your mind is moving into the domain of meditation, which is filled with peace and rest. Here, your mind will become one-pointed and subtle, softening. Now, a short quote from the Bhagavad Gita pertaining to meditation, which chapter 6 is in Bhagavad Gita is heavily about meditation. So it's chapter 6, verse 27. As the wandering mind will never remain one-pointed, you must be ever vigilant. Whenever it strays, bring it under control and fix it again toward God consciousness by maintaining awareness of the breath. Now the asanas of the breath, not to be confused with the physical postures, asanas in yoga, such as the lotus posture. The inhaling breath is apana. The exhaling is prana. Breath is extremely important in meditation, particularly the central breath, madhyamam, pranam. Yeah. The central breath is neither exhaling or inhaling. It is the center point of these two, the point between exhalation and inhalation. Now an explanation of the internal posture needed for meditation and using the 4 parts of the breath. It is ideal for your practice to align, just a note here, it is ideal for your practice to align with the pauses of day and night, the natural cycles of dawn and dusk. You can also try to remember to practice during daily activities, not in sitting meditation, but in activity, such as walking, cooking, doing dishes. This will bring more easeful and one-pointed sitting meditation when you sit down to meditate. Okay, I'm going to take you through a short 2-minute meditation. So if you can find your posture and sitting erect in your chair or wherever you're sitting. You may close your eyes or focus on the tip of your nose, whatever is your preference. First, become aware of your breath. Just follow its natural rhythm. Slowly inhale the breath. At the end of the inhale, place your awareness between the 2 eyebrows, noticing the pause. Just maybe a second or two. It's a pause before the breath turns back in the other direction. Then slowly exhale the breath. Focus on the pause at the end of the exhale. Continue observing the 4 parts of the breath, noticing the 2 pauses, breathing in to this point between the 2 eyebrows and breathing out. Continue observing the 4 parts of the breath for 2 to 3 minutes. I'll let you know. Exhaling, noticing the pause. Inhaling slowly between the 2 eyebrows and notice that pause just for a second or two and continue in that fashion. Give yourself a minute or two to come back, just breathing normally, not trying to control the breath in any way. Very good.
Thank you, Susan. But there is actually a connection between your meditation and the meditation that I'm going to do. And I think you'll see it, you'll hear it when we get there. So I won't take it all away right now. We'll wait for a moment until Elaine comes on. But while we're waiting, because as I said, I'm going to do a raffle. Hi. There you are, Elaine.
I'm looking
Okay.
for
Elaine, are you ready already?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
I think I'm ready already. I'm just gonna take a sip of water here.
Then we shall go to the musical component right now to Elaine. And Elaine, what is your teacher's name? Elaine
His name is Jim Meredith.
Jim Meredith. So Elaine Danforth and Jim Meredith. Elaine will be singing and Jim will be accompanying her.
Amorosi miei giorni, che vi potrà mai più scornar, or che di tutti miei adorni, date pace al mio cuore, e profumo ai pensieri.
Thank you. That was wonderful. Can you tell us what that was?
Yeah, sure. I should have done it the other way around. But this is a song I sang in Italian, Amorosi miei giorni. And the text is by Alberto Donaldi. The composer of the music is Stefano Donaldi. And it's about the person singing is talking about all the lovers of their life and how a single sigh or a single smile can be their entire treasure, even though there have been all kinds of disappointments and betrayals, that this is still true.
That's beautiful. So, yes, thank you very much. And thank you, Susan. I mean, so we went from Kashmir, we went to Italy. And would you like to say something else, or is there something else, Elaine? Don't want to cut you off.
Me, no. I'm just kind of standing here because I was just didn't rehearse this and I can sit down.
Thank you.
And I'm gonna have to change venue because my teacher has somebody else coming in. But I'm gonna go a few steps and get on the Wi-Fi over there on my own laptop.
That was some of the most beautiful music I've ever heard. That was just heart touching.
Thank you, Susan.
Really
I
beautiful.
appreciated your meditation as well.
Yeah, I thought it was beautiful too. It was really very beautiful.
Thank you, Elizabeth.
It was.
Just a note that I just remembered, there's going to be a free 4-week meditation class. I think it starts on April 7th on Sunday mornings, I think at 8 Western time. But it's free and it's going to be wonderful. I didn't know it was going to be free, so that was wonderful too. And if you want it, you could just go to the Lakmanju Academy. Lakmanju.
Maybe
And-
you can put that in the chat, Susan, because then people can find it, because otherwise they,
How to
we
do that?
wouldn't even know how to spell it.
Yeah, it's not easy to spell.
That's great. So we've already had 2 wonderful contributions, and yeah, from all around the world. Let's set our intent. As I said initially, the intent is to grow in wisdom, because the wisdom is already within us. We have just forgotten. So this is the intent, growing in wisdom for all of us and for the highest good for all of us and anybody who is listening afterwards, so that our energy that we're creating right here cannot be used for other purposes other than the highest good for everybody involved. And so before we settle in, just, allow yourself for a moment, because we're going to the next step of meditation in just a moment. So for a moment, move your body a little bit. Loosen up, maybe even loosen up your clothes if you need to. Stretch yourself if you wish to. Move your shoulders. Stretch completely. Move your legs a little bit. And try to sit as comfortably as you possibly can. Try to relax. Anchor yourself in your seat, or perhaps you're lying down, that's up to you. But be in the here and now. And maybe move your head, your neck a little bit. Maybe move your hands a little bit, stretch your fingers. And then pay attention to your breathing for a moment. How fast or how slow are you breathing? And where do you feel your breath more clearly? In the upper part of the lungs, in the lower part of the lung lobes, more in the front or more in the back of the lungs? Where do you feel your breath more clearly? And allow yourself to breathe a little bit deeper. With each exhalation, allowing yourself to breathe a little bit deeper, drifting deeper. If you can, even feeling the expansion from your breathing down to your abdominal area, your belly button. And simultaneously feel the breathing going through your nose or possibly your mouth as well. And if needed, keep shifting your body, keep moving your body until you really feel comfortable and at ease. And start to concentrate only on the breath for a moment. Remembering that the word spirit or spirituality actually comes from the Latin word spirare, which means to breathe. So any spiritual being is not spiritual because they can channel or they connect with other dimensions or they belong to a spiritual group. The spiritual being is one who knows how to breathe. And the whole universe is always expanding and contracting. So our breathing is simply a remembering of the breath of the universe. Connect with the breathing. There's no right or wrong way to do it. Just pay attention on how you do it. Your breathing can give you clues about how you live your life. The amount of air you inhale will tell you how much you need. The way you exhale will tell you what you give. If you feel nervous about your breathing, when you begin to focus on your breathing, it might tell you about your attitude towards living your life in relation to others. Do you feel anxious? And then moving to your heart. The pulse of your heart. The heart is sending all the oxygen from your lungs to every cell in your body. It is the way you exchange the energy. It is your flow of energy. And as you continue to take deep breaths, and you can have your eyes closed or open, I ask you that you bring all your attention for a moment to your feet. Perhaps move your feet, wiggle your toes. Recognize that they are the foundation that holds you up, that allows you to stand up on this planet. A very important foundation, our feet. And next, acknowledge your legs. Perhaps move your legs and bring awareness to them. Recognize their strength and realize the flexibility of your knees. How do your knees feel today at this moment? Do they feel a little more or a little less flexible today? The knees receive information and process information from both our ancestral line and everything in the here and now. We often mistakenly think we possess and process everything with our brain, but our whole legs process a lot of information. And as we anchor ourselves in our feet and our legs, we automatically are anchored in our greater being, Mother Earth. A lot of information actually cannot be processed in our head, but instead gets always processed in our legs and feet. So pay attention to them and keep breathing deeply. Because the deep breathing is waking up every cell, every muscle in your body. And then pay attention to your hips. And of course, within your hips, our genitals. That is the force of our creation and manifestation. Very important part, actually, of our body. And then move your awareness upwards to your belly and the corresponding area of our lower back, the area of our intestines. If you wish, use your hands to gently massage or touch to wake up your intestines. And recognize that this part of you is the one that creates the blood and produces the energy for your whole body. The motion through our digestive system is the energy in motion that we call emotion. And take a deep breath and respectfully greet and honor each part of your lower organs. And next, move your awareness up to the diaphragm, and under the diaphragm, the organs. This is where many of us hold stuck energy, hold hidden virus, bacteria, also hurt ego programming. So with intention, mark this area as a space for purification. And honor the organs under the diaphragm. On the right side, more the liver, the gallbladder. In the center, the stomach. A little bit to the left and the middle, the pancreas. And on the left side, the spleen. Just recognizing them. You don't have to have an exact image of them, just a general sense that you have these organs, that they are there, and that they are doing the work for you. And then moving up further, go to your heart and allow yourself to have a sense of expansion. The heart is sometimes also called the tree of life within our body. Take a deep breath and feel how the oxygen flows through you, expanding through both lungs towards the heart, and from the heart reaching to the farthest corners of your physical body. observe the heartbeat and perhaps touch with your hands the chest area to try to feel the heartbeat. And acknowledge the expansion of yourself from the heart. And next, stretch your arms a bit and stretch your fingers. The hands are definitely the extension of our heart, and the sensitive fingertips are recording and transmitting all the electricity and pulses from within and from without, going back in. This is where all the information of our heart flows to the hands. And take a deep breath and realize the power of manifestation of our hands as the prime executor of the heart. And then bring your awareness further up in your body. From your heart, like on the outside of the heart here is the thymus. So the thymus gland, through your thymus to your thyroid, up your throat. This area here is sometimes also called the rainbow bridge within our body. It vibrates, it creates sounds. This is the bridge between the expansion of the heart and our mind or our conscious awareness. It goes straight to our tongue and teeth. And our teeth are our history. Our tongue brings the information into our body. The mouth is the entrance of our holy temple. And maybe stretch your jaw and realize and actually bring attention to your eyes, to your ears and nose next. So from your jaw going to your ears, your eyes, your nose, just bringing awareness to these areas. And realize how these, the ears, the eyes, the nose, connect in the center point of your head, about where the hypothalamus is in our skull. And in the center of the hypothalamus, there is a few glands, the pineal gland and the hypophysis, or the called also pituitary gland, the holy of the holies, or sometimes called the crystal palace, sometimes called the seat of Metatron, sometimes the divine spark within. These master glands are directing our nervous system and connecting each one of our cells via electrical pulses. So just allow yourself to feel deep within your head without forcing. Even if you feel nothing, you feel something. That behind the nothingness, there is something. These master glands, these, electrical pulses along with the breath, allow every movement, they allow every movement to arise within us. The positive and the negative charges in the electrical pulses are allowing the process of taking form, manifesting, information, creation. And maybe with your eyes closed at this moment, in your mind's eye, see the space between two neurons. and see the electrical pulses arising between the new neurons, sort of like the space between inhalation and exhalation. But in this movement from neuron to neuron, in this electricity, protons are sharing electrons. This sharing of electrons stabilizes systems and forms all of our being, exchanging energy constantly. So feel between the neurons, the space between the neurons. And going deeper, imagine our planet as a huge proton, the center of an atom. And the moon is the electron swirling rapidly around the planet or the proton. So we have an atom, the planet, the proton, the inside, the center, and the moon, the electron swirling around. And if we zoom into our planet, into the proton, we can detect the continents and the oceans, something like the building blocks of, the smaller subatomic particles, the building blocks of the protons, the quarks and the gluons. And as we go deeper and deeper, perhaps we see the civilizations, the cultures on this planet. And perhaps you can even dip into the field of time and space and feeling the breath of Mother Earth and simultaneously of every living being in this time-space continuum. Mother Earth also has a heartbeat, has a breath. Feel the creative energy in every particle. And beyond the breath, beyond the inhalation and exhalation, is the void, the nothing, the complete stillness. For some, it is a most beautiful feeling. For some, it may have a different connotation. There's no up and down, there's no organs, there's no breath, nothing. Maybe just an idea of breath. Take a moment to think of your existence. You're sitting down here. You hold the all, the everything in between every electrical pulse. You feel the whole, and you know the void. It's the same thing. The nothing is everything. The nothing is the whole. The complete potential. And in this dynamic, perhaps you ask yourself, why do I exist? Why am I here? Why am I human? Why did I decide to come into existence? But even as the question comes out, reverberating back to you is a frequency of incredible trust and conviction in the rightness of it all, a conviction in yourself, a trust in the all. So observe and imagine. Remember that child within you, that perhaps all he or she wanted to do was to go out and play. Remember that moment where you ask your parents, can I go outside to play with my friends now? What did you want to do and play when you opened the door and go out to play? Was it exciting to go out? Was it scary? Was it some of both? Go back to that moment, to that feeling. What was it for you? Children never think about conflicts and difficulties that can happen. They never think that they can get lost or meet the wrong people or make the wrong choices or maybe make the wrong friends. But when was it in your life that you became afraid, that you made a mistake? What made you feel scared the first time? Everything that you found in the path of discovery through your imagination as a small child shaped the way you are today. It shaped your mind, your ideas, your breath, your body. And every conflict after that became a battle, maybe a wound. And every wound became a trauma. And every trauma is a scar in our soul and our body. Now, without second guessing, third guessing, 25th guessing, place your hand on that part of your body where the biggest and initial trauma is located. And ask yourself if that is the moment when you stopped imagining new possibilities. Or is that trauma the moment that allowed you to imagine a new possibility? This conflict, this initial conflict in your life conditioned you the way that you are today. Your physical body responds to it. Remember, your physical body is an expression of the electrical pulses within your brain, the electrical pulses of imagination or fear. And of course, that's what creates our patterns in our universe. When we become afraid, we create patterns that we follow continuously so we don't get lost over and over. We're using the same patterns, but it becomes monotonous. What if we dare to imagine again? Imagine with love for ourselves and everything around us, a win-win situation. And within, breathe in brilliant golden white light into your whole body, into the farthest reaches of your body, the smallest crevices, And when you breathe out, you release from your physical body any illnesses, pain, trauma, etc. You breathe in the brilliant golden white light into your physical body, and you breathe out the golden white light in all directions, through your house, through the foliage outside, into the heavens, into the earth below, into different dimensions perhaps, or all the spaces around you. And just allow yourself to breathe like this for a moment, letting it all go. And then taking a deep breath in, holding it for a moment, letting it out, coming back to here and now, coming back. Just allow yourself to relax for a moment. Center. All right. Thank you, everybody, for staying with me. And I know this was a little bit longer meditation and maybe a little bit different, but thank you for staying with me, and we shall see what changes will come from it as we have all done it together now. So, Florence, I'm assuming you're not ready to do anything right now.
I could sing
Then
if it's okay.
if it would be, I think, very good for us to have a little bit of grounding with music, and then we will just go into the raffle and a few.
Okay. This is a folk song that Judy Collins sang, and Leonard Cohen wrote it, so it's a different style of music. It's called The Sisters of Mercy. Oh, the Sisters of Mercy, they are not departed or gone. They were waiting for me when I thought that I just can't go on. And they brought me their comfort, and later they brought me their songs. Oh, I hope you run into them, you who've been traveling so long. Yes, you who must leave everything that you cannot control. It begins with your family and later comes around to your soul. Well, I've been where you're hanging, I think I can see how you pinned. When you're not feeling holy, your loneliness says that you sinned. I laid down beside them, I made my confession to them. They touched both my eyes, and I touched the dew on their hands. If your life is a leaf that the seasons tear off and condemn, they will bind you with love that is graceful and green as the stem. When I left, they were sleeping. I hope you run into them soon. Don't turn on the light, you can read their address by the moon. And it won't make me jealous if I learn that they sweetened your night. We weren't lovers like that, and besides, it would still be all right, right?
Thank you.
I was so nervous about singing, but I'm happy I did it.
I am glad. I am glad for all of you who, well, helped with the presentations and all of you who are here right now. It does make a difference. And, you know, all of the contributions are important, useful, and, you know, especially singing, of course, it has a frequency that always helps to also uplift. So I thank you. So, as I said, I would give away one of Michio Kushi's reports. It's a study guide report from 1980. And of course, a study guide report means, you know, Michio Kushi was teaching and somebody has actually sort of written out all the notes of what he was teaching about, including the conversations that were going on between the students and the Michio. So I'll read a short section of this, and then I'll think of a number between 1 and 100. And you can, each of you who wishes to participate in this little raffle, put in, you know, in the chat any number between 1 and 100, and whoever is closest will receive the booklet. Like here's a little reading from it. Okay. So what are some of the ways that the body discharges? Michio is asking. The student says sweating, another student says skin disease, another student says hair falling out, another student yet says body odor. Michio Kushi responds, fine. Now, in order to have this discharge going on smoothly, what is needed? This skin, the surface of the body, should be clean. And our sweat glands should not be blocked by fat because if caused by dairy food, sugar, etc. Also, if on our feet and hands and at the ends of our toes and fingers, there is heavy and thick accumulation of skin, then the chi energy charge cannot run smoothly and stagnation occurs. If the body is clean and clear, then discharge can go on properly. And, you know, it goes on a long way. And partly he is also talking about the unifying principle in the Bible in this section, lost paradise, about kosher foods, angels of God, Daniel and the lions. But, you know, this is the study guide that I'll be raffling off. So think of a number between 1 and 100, and let me find the chat here. Let's see. So has everybody made their?
No, I hit the
No,
wrong.
I'm trying to, you've got to delete something in order to be able to write something. Okay. There.
How is it now? Anybody still?
Okay, I got mine in 99.
Okay. All right. I had the number 86 here that I wrote down on this piece of paper. And so Nina with 88 is the closest. So Nina is the winner of.
Yay! Thank you.
Receive it.
Thank
So
you.
Nina, I will have to ask you to send me your address again.
I will. Thank you so much. Thank you.
All right. So there's that. Then, of course, I would also like to share my screen. Oops. What's this? I would also like to tell you a little bit about the upcoming program, which is the Body, Soul, and Spirit Summit, which this time I have spread over 3 different dates. One on a Wednesday afternoon or Wednesday, well, late morning to early afternoon, then an afternoon on a Saturday, April 13th, and then on the 21st, it's almost like a whole day. So 3 different sections. The first section is on Wednesday, April 10th, and Melanie Waxman from the Shah Institute in Spain. I mean, she is American, but she has been living and teaching at the Shah Institute in Spain for a long time now, and she will be gracing us with a cooking class, and she is always, she's always doing great work. She is, she has 8 or 9 kids, but she looks very young and keeps herself young with all the things that she does, and has really nice recipes. Shirataki noodle surprise, meaning these noodles that are non-gluten, wild rice with creamy beans and watercress, and a spicy sea vegetable salad. So that's those are her recipes. And after her cooking class, we'll also have a question and answer session. And while I write here 1 to 2, we'll take it, until basically no more questions are there. I mean, not until 6 o'clock, but if there are more questions, then for just an hour, we'll stay as long as is appropriate. And in the question and answer session, really, we can, look at many different dynamics, both at cooking, at healing, at, things that don't necessarily have to do with cooking, but other dynamics. So whatever we feel like is important to discuss, that's always fun. Then on Saturday, April 13th, I will have an interview with Thomas Ritter, who is, he is a travel agent, but he's much more than that. He is also an author. He is associated with the palm leaf libraries in India and Bali. He goes there a lot, takes people there on spiritual journeys. Now, the palm leaf libraries are something very interesting. 5,000 years ago, there were some holy people, they call them the rishis, the Sapta rishis, 7 of them, that have written on, at that time, initially it may have been on stone, but they had written information for people, for maybe several 100,000 people on stone, but not only for the sort of predictions, not only for people that were during their time there, but also for people in the future. And so people can go to these libraries, and there are literally now, I mean, what they have done in the recent past is they have these special, it's a special kind of leaf that is specially treated, that lasts for 400 or 500 years, where they, are always writing the same information from the Sapta rishis, but the people's information that come to the libraries is on there. So usually, you go to the libraries and your information is there. And I mean, what he has experienced was quite extraordinary. the first time, I mean, he, didn't really believe in all of this and a lot of the information that was shared. But he said it all came to pass. I mean, he was floored. He didn't even think that, that was really real. But anyway, he's a fascinating person. He's going to talk about that. He's also going to talk a little bit about, the sort of, I don't want to call it predictions, but the direction that the rishis and many other people in the world, but even the rishis from thousands of years ago, have been talking about what is happening in the world right now, where this world is going to. So I think it will be a fascinating talk. Then I will give a talk on the benefits of sea vegetables and other foods. I will do some exercises afterwards so that we are not sitting too much. And that will conclude that second day. And then on Sunday, the 21st, we'll first have an interview with Simon Brown on Feng Shui and on, well, how we are nature, because we're not separate from nature. And Feng Shui, I think you told me it means wind and I forget what else. I have to look it up again. Wind and something else. But anyway, he will talk about that. And Simon is, a very good presentation person as well. We'll have a discussion session afterwards. Then you may have seen my email with a short video from Bob Carr. He is going to do special Doin exercises. Well, when I started macrobiotics in Germany, he was also one of the first teachers who was teaching at the Kushi Institute in Germany. And he was doing Doin with us back then. He has always done, and he has always gone to a depth with the information about the exercises that I have rarely found other people do. So I think it's going to be great to have him on. Then we'll have a cooking class with Mariana. Mariana is also an extraordinary being. She is right now on the West Coast and teaching people how to cook. Cooking is her love, even though for many years to make money, she has worked in a law firm, but she has always loved cooking. Right now, she's cooking for a younger woman who has traumatic onset diabetes starting at 13 years old. That was something I had not heard of. So we were discussing that. But she's also doing some fabulous recipes. She's going to do a dessert, a coconut cream panna cotta or panna cotta, I don't know how you pronounce it in English, with cranberry compote, fried millet with basil and sesame oil, chili sauce, pickled beet, daikon, and green apple salad. So I think those should be good dishes also for the summertime. And then we'll have a meditation at the end of the day and the closing. So that's my special event, the Body, Soul, and Spirit Summit. That the topic is thriving with change. Change is always, happening in our world, in our life, so we can adapt more easily. And any questions?
It looks yummy.
I think, let me see, is there anything else?
I will say that I'm so happy that you're sharing more of yourself at these conventions or conferences. You have so much to offer us, and I love everything that you present to us. And so I thank you for sharing more of you and then giving us space over 3 days. Thank you so much.
We're so blessed.
Thank you. very-
I feel blessed to be in your presence.
Thank you. That is very kind of you. And I am blessed to be in all of your presence. I have to say that. I mean, each one of you is really meaningful. Thank you. Yeah, so any other comments, questions, anything?
Just that we don't see the profundity sometimes or appreciate that we are here at this point in time. We could be so many other places, in so many other experiences, and somehow in the mystical way of things, we're here and we're here together. Often, all of us, the same folks, that meet. It's really a blessed thing.
I agree. Thank you.
Thank you.
I think it is, yeah, it is all of our connections. It is all of us that are helping each other in ways that we don't even realize it sometimes, but thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Maya.
Thank you, Bettina.
And thank you, everybody. I wish you to have a wonderful evening or afternoon, wherever you are, and hope to see you sometime soon.
Happy snowstorm.
Snowstorm?
Yeah, we are having severe snow.
Severe? Oh, wow.
We are? Oh, I didn't know that.
Well, you may not, but I mean,
We're
mean,
pretty close.
yeah, that doesn't necessarily, I mean, even, what is it, 10 miles from here, it may look different, but I mean, where we were, now it's all dark. I can't see anything outside anymore, but when we started, it was still light and everything was white. I couldn't even see far.
Oh, wow.
Same thing in Toronto today.
Mm. Well,
Thank you, Bettina. This was just what I needed. So very relaxing.
Thank you, Irene.
yeah.
All right, so all of you have a wonderful evening and we shall connect again.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Hey,
Bye,
Thank you.
everyone.
Thank you.
You-
hi, Wendy.